I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Monday, January 31, 2022. Government is partnering with the Caribbean Export Development Agency, Carib Export, on a project to bolster the productivity and export competitiveness of the Jamaican coffee sector and boost export into the European market. The initiative was launched at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade last Thursday. Portfolio Minister Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith welcomed the initiative, saying Europe, with its large consumer base and approximately 450 million people, poses strong prospects as a new and important coffee export market for Jamaica.
The data indicates that Europe accounts for 33% of global coffee consumption in 2021. Approximately 3.244 million tons of coffee in that market.
Carib Export has proposed a two-phase approach to undertaking the project. The first will focus on an analysis of the EU coffee market and evaluate the market penetration strategies of the other major coffee exporters to the EU. The second phase will focus on developing a targeted marketing strategy for the EU coffee market. The National Security Council, NSC, which is chaired by Prime Minister Andrew Holness, has agreed on the development of a national campaign against illegal guns and gangs. The decision was taken at the NSC's first meeting of the year held on Friday. Young men will be the key demographic target of the campaign that is to be implemented across all media platforms and will seek the support of all stakeholders. According to a statement from the Office of the Prime Minister, the objective of the campaign will be to educate the population on the dangers of illegal guns, dissuade persons from dealing, trafficking, procuring, possessing, and using illegal guns. There will be a significant public education component on the new Firearms Act and the penalties that will be applied to persons involved with illegal weapons. The security apparatus also agreed that significant incentives should be provided to the public to encourage the sharing of information leading to the recovery of illegal weapons. To this end, a dedicated fund will be provided to support established channels of information sharing, in addition to greater support for the development of human intelligence sources. Prime Minister Holness told the members of the National Security Council that the public must be fully engaged and encouraged to give information on illegal activities, particularly on illegal guns. The legislative agenda to fight crime was also a major point of discussion at Friday's NSC meeting, with the Council establishing tight timelines for tabling the Firearms Act, the Bail Act, and other major crime-fighting bills in Parliament. The Council was also informed of the continued joint operations by the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Jamaica Defence Force in major crime hotspots, including an update on the current 7 zones of special operations. The human resource capacity of the Department of Correctional Services, DCS, has been increased, as 107 new recruits have graduated to join the service. The 97 men and 10 women, representing the 80th intake of correctional officers, graduated from the Carl Rattray Staff College in Runway Bay, St. Anne on Friday. They underwent 12 weeks of training with emphasis on the acquisition of the core skills and knowledge necessary to stem recidivism, as well as to facilitate the rehabilitation of inmates in the penal system. Pointing out that there are 137 inmates per 100 square feet across a total of 11 correctional facilities, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of National Security, Courtney Williams, welcomed the new correctional officers, but stressed that their job would not be easy.
With the COVID-19 pandemic, this has just compounded the challenge for the correctional services. Let me remind you that your presence here today means that you have successfully navigated a robust 12-week training course. You have successfully navigated the obstacles of this highly physical training, and I really want to commend you for that.
The Permanent Secretary stressed that correctional officers have a significant role to play in Jamaica's national security landscape.
This is a service being offered to correct a wrong. That's what you're actually doing. There would have been wrongdoers and people would have committed infractions at different times who ended up being in a penal institutions. What you are seeking to do is to helping them to correct that wrong.
Minister Delroy Chuck says the Justice Ministry will be working to ensure that court cases are dealt with quickly by coordinating with the Restorative Justice centers across the island.
Matters must be settled in a reasonable and timely manner, because when they drag on for too long, people feel that the only alternative is to take it into their hands to get what they consider to be justice. But that is not justice. The truth is that our judicial system, our justice system, the courts are under pressure. And this is where the Ministry of Justice will now be on almost a missionary zeal for alternative dispute resolution to take away as many of the less serious cases from the dockets, from the court system itself.
He was speaking during the National Service of Thanksgiving held on Sunday at the Boulevard Baptist Church to mark the official start of Restorative Justice Week 2022. This year's theme is Crime Prevention Through Restorative Justice is Everybody's Business. Restorative justice is a process where all the parties with a stake in a particular offense come together to resolve collectively how to deal with the aftermath of the offense. It usually involves a justice of the peace. In light of the increasing number of persons waiting for their new voter identification cards, the Electoral Office of Jamaica, EOJ, is allowing individuals to request open as well as multiple letters of identity at once to conduct business. Public Education Officer at the EOJ, Dania Harper, tells JIS News that while a letter of identity is generally addressed to the entity that requires the identification, the EOJ has made some changes to facilitate electors conducting business with multiple institutions.
In this case, we have made the letter open, so it can be for multiple uses. And the current letter that we have now that we're issuing is valid until the end of February. We realize that a number of institutions require that the letter not be open but be addressed specifically to them. So we have been allowing electors to make that request.
She says the EOJ has been in dialogue with financial institutions and remittance agencies that require identification from customers, asking these institutions for leniency where possible for electors who present the EOJ-issued letters of identity. The letter of identity is a secure document with the EOJ stamp and signature of an official at the electoral office. It also bears the identity information and photograph of the elector and is printed with security features that cannot be photocopied. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.